Charlie Trotter's, it's interesting because we are just now celebrating 20 years, and I remember prior to opening, we had some different names in mind, and I guess I was sort of talked into naming it after myself, which I had no intention of doing, because folks really began to understand that we were trying to put together more of the European style of operation where the chef owner is there every day and family members are involved, and it's very much welcoming people into our home in a sense. And so it just seemed to make sense, as bold as it might be, to name it after myself. The restaurant is broken into smaller rooms. There are 3 dining rooms that each have about 30 seats, and then in the adjacent building, the twin building, we have our studio kitchen where we host young high school students for our excellence program 3 nights a week, but we also have private parties and special functions. We also film our PBS series there. The style of cuisine, I guess the easiest way to regard it is that of being spontaneous cuisine. There are no signature items or set pieces. Menu changes a little bit every single day. It's sort of an evolution of ideas. It's certainly, influence comes from Western Europe, but it's definitely not in the classic cuisine mode, because there's just as much influence from the Orient. There's sort of an Asian minimalism that runs throughout. We use virtually no cream or butter. It's sort of a vegetable-driven cuisine, lots of vegetable components, vegetable purees, juices, sauces. It's also a very wine-friendly cuisine, so we don't work with a lot of high spice or heat or acid, and we go to great lengths to pair the food and wine. My philosophy regarding food and cooking is, number one, it's all about product, product, product. 80% of cooking is what kind of product can you obtain, this pure, clean, natural product. After that, I like the idea of devising dishes where there is an element of recognizability, something that you've either seen a combination of 2 or 3 or 4 foodstuffs before, so you have a reference point, but you've never seen it put together quite this way. It's not about cooking to try to please the public necessarily. It's about trying to do something that's so special that we're just excited to serve it up. And I think when we first opened, and I remember getting reviewed, and one reviewer was saying to us, well, I want to write about this dish, and that dish, and so when the review comes out in 4 weeks, they'll still be on the menu, right? And I said, actually, they're not even on the menu anymore, even though you just dined here 2 nights ago. And what? Well, I can't write about dishes that won't be on the menu. Everyone will come and they'll want to have them. And well, the menu's changing all the time. And I think that was a kind of a novelty, at least in Chicago 20 years ago, when it was all about, here's the big menu and these are the fixed items. And so purity of product, spontaneity in the cooking, and having elements that one can relate to, but at the same time has never seen quite before.